I am absolutely terrible at DIY stuff. Anything DIY, it goes wrong. If I try and screw something into a wall in the house, the bloody wall crumbles. So if you're really bad at DIY stuff, then this might be for you. Welcome back to the channel. This is Cookie and the Haydens, and it's normally a reselling channel. I've got a little project to do, so don't worry, still reselling content going on the channel. But if you're into a bit of DIY and you want to see me make a complete botch job, hopefully not, of a decking area at the back of the garden, carry on watching. This is our back garden, and you might think, well, it's a lovely back garden. Why do you want to go digging it up and building stuff on it? Well, it's at the back here, right? This is where the sunshine stays for all the majority of the day. Into the evening, this is where the sun will be at the end of the day. Now, what I want to do is, I want to put a piece of decking here. See where I'm following my hand from that brick edge here up to about here. It's going to run all the way to the other bricks and right the way back there. Just a nice bit of decking that we can sit on in an evening, have a meal or just chill out or whatever. So I want to swap this over. I want the grass that I dig up here for the decking to go in that place there. And I'm going to repurpose these slabs for the base of the decking. I'm going to be using pallets as the main base for the decking. And they're cheap, they're heavy, and I think they're going to do the job. Now, as I said at the start, I am useless at anything DIY, so this is a big job for me. If you're watching this and you're good at gardening or DIY stuff, you're probably thinking it's an easy job, but it's only easy if you know what you're doing with this kind of stuff. And I'm not really handy, but I'm keen to have a go at it and see what I can achieve. It's all going to be done on the cheap. I'm doing it just myself, and I've done a bit of research on YouTube to see how other people have done it, and I've picked up bits of different videos. First job, lift these paving slabs up to leave the dirt underneath. Lift those up, stack them to the side. The next job is I'm going to mark out the area of the decking with like a bit of string or something, and then I'm going to use like a half moon lawn cutting tool to cut this into pieces, and I'm going to lift it, and fingers crossed I'm going to move it over here, and hopefully it will carry on growing here and seamlessly join into the other lawn. I'm going to lift all that grass and put it there. That's going to be hard work. That's going to be the hardest job, those two things, I think. Then after that, the next job's going to be to take the paving slabs and put them into the corners of each pallet. So the pallets, each one are going to rest on the corners of these stones. Then, once I've laid the pallets and I've cut them out into shape round here, I'm going to screw the pallets together so they make one big piece. Also, I need to make sure that everything's level, so I've got a spirit level for that. And then, once that's done, it's all together, it's all resting nicely, I need to source some wooden planks to go on the top, and I'm going to cover the pallets with planks to make it a solid piece of decking, and I'm going to go around the edge with some wood as well. Now, I do have a plan in case it looks a bit crappy. So if it turns out and it doesn't look good as just a wooden decking because my handiwork is really bad, I have a plan. And basically at the other end of the garden, at the top end, we've got this nice area here which is nice and sunny in the morning, and we have fake grass here, like astroturfy type stuff. Now what I could do, if the decking doesn't look great as wood, I can cover it with this, and we can have a nice astroturf piece of decking at the back of the garden, almost the same as that, but there. First job is to lift all these up. Probably easier said than done. something that I didn't anticipate here, like the gloves there, was this concrete underneath, of course. Of course, when they laid this patio, they obviously put sand and concrete and stuff underneath, so that's something I didn't think about. I'm gonna have to tip some of it, or I might be able to use some of it underneath the decking, because there's going to be a ground sheet underneath there to stop the weeds. So I might just like lay some of the big pieces on that. We're never going to see it again, are we, I suppose? Is that being lazy? Is that being really lazy by sticking it under the decking? I think the next job is to mark this out. Mark it out to the size of the decking. If you're a professional, that's brilliant, but I'm not. So please be kind in the comments. I'm probably doing lots of things wrong. The next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to attempt to use this thing, this half moon sort of edging cutter thing. I've seen people do it on the tube, but I've got a feeling it's going to be harder than I'm expecting. I'm just wondering if we should get some topsoil, not loads, just a little bit, so that it's got some new soil under there. It might help it take. I don't know, I can't ask you guys because this will all be done by the time you see it, but I'm gonna have to make an executive decision on this. That was harder than moving those slabs. And look how much of this grass I've got to move. Now, question, that's a thick chunk, isn't it? Did I go too deep with that? I think I went too deep. I think I've gone too deep, because that's too heavy for me even to pick up that, and it's falling apart when I move it. So I think I need a proper spade rather than a fork. That might have helped. And I think I'm going to get some topsoil, and I'll make sure of anything else that I can think of that I need. But that's going to take me the rest of the day probably just to move this, if I'm not dead by the end of it. I'm just back from B&M. I've bought 6 bags of this for 30 quid, and I brought a spade, which I think I do need. Don't know why I thought I could get away without a spade, but yeah. Good thing is at least I can use that afterwards for the garden, or Belle can. And a rake, because these were a tenner each, by the way. I think I need to rake this to get it a bit flatter. Now, quick update for you on these pieces. That was an absolute sod to move. Get it? Sod. I'm pretty much done in for one day. I think I've achieved quite a lot, but there has been challenges as expected. So this is where I'm leaving it today. I've cut out this strip of lawn. Bloody hell, that was hard work. That was back-breaking work. I know you can get machines to do it, but I'm trying to do this on a budget. So I did this by hand with the cutter and the spade. And then what I've done is I've transferred it over to this side. Now, still a little bit of a dip there, which I wanted to try and avoid, but look at the side there and look at that side. I've leveled it reasonably well. It's better than what it was, put it that way. I've put some of the topsoil on here, and we've also chucked some grass seed down just to give it a bit of a helping hand. We might sprinkle some on at the end as well. We're back to carry on the next day, and today we're going to be digging up. I'm going to attempt to dig up all the rest of that grass. There's Belle, and we've got a new helper as well. Let me turn that around. Cookie's absolutely fascinated with me digging up the grass, aren't you, Cooks? Hey, fascinated by it.
This better not be a new start of cookie digging the garden up.
I am absolutely dripping right now. This is hard work. This is manual labour. I'm used to sitting in front of a computer and taking the odd photograph, packing a parcel now and again. Not this. This is hard. I take my hat off to anybody who does this stuff on a day-to-day basis. That is tough. Anyway, I'm making progress. I'll give you a quick look. Cookie's trying to help me out here. She's digging up all the roots. Oh, well done, Cooks. You got one. Here's the transplanted grass. It's a bit of a patchwork, you can see, but I'm hoping that'll all, you know, merge at some point, if I'm lucky. But another thing I didn't anticipate was this. We've got an old tree root going right underneath this section of grass here. It's coming from here. We lopped this tree when we moved in, but all the roots are going right through there, and that's almost impossible to dig up. It takes me all the time to dig up a piece there than it does that whole strip. So what I'm doing is, up here for thinking, I'm leaving this strip till the end to see if I actually need it. And what I'm doing is I'm utilising the good grass, the easy cutting grass, to transplant, because I might not even need this piece. I thought I'd save this one for the camera. We have almost finished the transplantation. We've got one little square to fill. Here it is. Here it is, the little square. We've got to fill that one and then we're done. Here it is, the last piece of the jigsaw. Let's hope it fits. I've not measured it. It's not bad. I might have to put a little bit in there. Damn, that ruined the ending. Put a little landing strip in just to fill that up. It's not perfect, but I'm hoping it'll grow. I might put a little bit in there actually. Just fill that gap up. Don't have to be perfect, I don't think. Well, it's definitely not going to be perfect. I'm going to sprinkle some seeds to try and... I know the birds will probably eat these, but I might get a few in there. Oh, God. Next job, we've got to completely flatten this as much as we can. Dig that out and then put a ground weed layer on. This is the membrane that I'm going to put down. I think I got this like on eBay. I think I got it on eBay. That would make sense for me, wouldn't it? 3 meters by 10 meters should be more than big enough for this. And yeah, I'll probably double up on it as well. So we're going to try and lay this and then put some stones out for the pallet base. These stones that used to be here, I'm going to use for the corners of each pallet. So you'll see as it happens, but yeah, they're going to weigh down the membrane and they're going to go in spaces like 1 meter spaces like that basically. And they're going to be on the corner of each pallet. Now the challenge I've got is getting that as flat as possible when I put the pallet on top. This is what I'm aiming for. 2 pallets, and we've got the slabs in between each one. But the challenge here is laying it and getting it flat. Now these are about 1 millimeter out, which I'm hoping is going to be acceptable by the time I've screwed it all together and whatnot. Yeah, I'm going to do that all the way along here. It's slow progress, but it's getting there. Basically, I have to lay 1 pallet, make sure it gets as close to level as possible, and then put the other one on, prop up these a bit, pack them out a bit underneath to get the level. And then what I do is I go in between the two and see how level they are. It's not too bad, but if you look at this one, when you test it, this one is bang on. This one is bubbles keep splitting, which is annoying. There we go. Bang on there. Well, I'm not ashamed to say that I was about to give up, if I'm honest. This is the third day. I had to pull up all the pallets that I'd laid and put them back down again because you see the brick wall at the back, it wasn't lining up with that and it just looked daft. Obviously it wasn't level, so it was going to look silly anyway, so I had to pull it up, re-level all the stones, and now it's as close as I think I can get it. It's very, very difficult. This has been harder than doing the lawn, seriously, shifting the lawn. Yeah, nearly called it a day. Now I've got to cut one there and somehow support that corner, because with this corner support of the pallet gone, I'm going to have to create something there. And I'm going to cut two pieces there that are going to be supported and a piece at the back in that little alcove, and I might have to cut that root out as well. See that one there, that might get in the way. Yeah, and you'll have to excuse Belle's knickers in the shadows there. We've finally made some progress today, and I've got some more manly gloves. Always good. All the pallets are now down. They're as level as I'm willing to get without being ridiculous and pulling it all up again. You can see the improvement here. Comparing it to the bricks there, it's almost level with the bricks. That'll do me. That'll do me. Now what I'm going to do, I've got some nice big screws. I'm going to screw all these pallets together just to make it all a bit firmer, to stop it moving, and I can little tinker with it a little bit before I screw it, if you beg my pardon. And we have wood. Now planks of wood that we got from B&Q. We've had to order 55 planks, I think, for this whole decking. That's £5 a plank. That's about 270, 280, something like that. About 280 plus I bought some screws and delivery, so 300 quid really. So that's the biggest spend of this little project. But I didn't want to scrimp on the finish, because I did consider getting some free wood, like off Facebook Marketplace, like reclaimed wood and stuff, or even cheap wood like £1 a plank. But I felt like I put so much work into this, I wanted the finish to look as good as it can be. So I did splash out a bit on the planks. Anyway, we've got to cover this in the decking planks. I've spent a couple of hours on this today, just doing the easy slats, the ones that don't need any cutting because they're all 2.4 meters long, which is perfect. So what's left to do? We've got to cut some at the end here and try and jigsaw something reasonably neat there, which is going to be interesting. I've got to cut some pieces for that section there and do a bit of jigsawing for that. And then I'm hoping to have enough left to double up on the edging here. But what I will have to do, because these blocks on the pallets are sticking out a little bit, I'm going to have to plane those off a little bit just so that I can get a smooth fit on the end there. So this end and on the other end here. Quite a few cuts just to get it in. So this one's a long thin one. That's what she said. Not to cut into the decking that would be silly, wouldn't it? You know what, it's not far off. It's not far off if you look at that. There's a join here, but this tree's going to cover that mostly. I might go that way. It is not a million miles off that. I think I'm okay with that. And that is the top of the decking completed. I've cut that round there. I don't think it looks too bad. Maybe I could have done better here. I took a bit too much off there, but never mind. It's not that bad. I'll tell you what, for someone who's shit at DIY, it's not bad, that. It's not bad. I had to do a small batten there to get that in. I've cut round there. Other than that, I think that ain't half bad, if I do say so myself. Last two pieces of the jigsaw puzzle that has been this decking. This is it, 2 pieces, ready to go. Last 2 screws. Last screw.
Yay! You've done an amazing job.
It's been a week since I finished the decking. We've been away and now I'm going to stain it. We've opted, after much deliberation, to go for grey because the house is kind of grey on the inside and we've got little bits of grey on the outside. So we've opted for like this slate grey from B&M, £24 a tin, 5 litres. And this is just one coat, but that's kind of what we're going for, the grey colour. So I'm going to get that done. It needs 2 coats, 6 hours in between each one. So I'll have to do 1 coat today and 1 coat tomorrow. And then it should be all done, hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm going to fast forward it a bit for you. I'm going to click my fingers. And hey presto, it's all done. Nice slate grey stain. It's not a paint, it's a stain. Finished. We've even got our little tiki decor ready to go. The tiki decking. So that's it, it's all finished, and it just goes to show you that no matter how shit you are at DIY, if you follow a few simple instructions, you can actually do it. I wasn't sure how good I was going to be able to do it. I actually did contemplate calling someone in at one point, but persevere and you carry on. And it looks alright, doesn't it, dear?
It does. And
She's happy?
We've not gone through it after putting the chairs on it.
Not yet. Not yet. So all in all, it's cost me about £400. So the pallets were 40. The actual decking from B&Q was £5 a piece, which worked out about £300. So that was the most expensive bit. And then it was just a few extras like screws and a few tools and stuff. So it was around, and some paint. It was around the £400 mark, so it's not too bad. I've got no idea what this would actually cost if I was to pay someone to make it, but I've got a feeling it would be...
Well, that's all just material costs then.
At least
you've got labour on that, have you?
At least a couple of grand, I don't know. Drop a comment, let me know what you think this might have cost to build if I'd have got a pro in to do it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope it's inspired you to have a go at something yourself. Let me know how you think I did. Please be kind in the comments, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Thanks very much for watching, really appreciate it. If you want to catch up on another one of my videos, you can try one like this or one like this. They're both good ones. Give it a go, or you can subscribe by pressing this button here. There you go. See you later.